Hey everyone, have you ever stared at a big list of numbers and just felt completely lost in the chaos? Well, today we're going to look at an awesome tool that takes all that numerical noise and turns it into a crystal clear visual story. Let's dive in.
Okay, here's a list of heights for 20 different students, in inches. Just by looking at this, can you really spot any patterns? Like, where do most of the heights bunch up? It's really tough, isn't it? This is just raw data, and its story is totally hidden from us.
So that's our big challenge. How do we take a list just like that one and pull out the story that's locked inside? How in the world do we find that hidden pattern?
Well, the journey from chaos to clarity doesn't actually start with a fancy graph. It starts with a simple but really powerful first step, just getting organized. Before we can visualize anything, we gotta impose some order on it.
And our number one tool for that is the interval frequency table. The idea is actually super simple. We're just grouping our numbers into buckets. Statisticians call them bins, and then we just count how many numbers fall into each bucket. That's it. We end up with these groups, or intervals, and how frequent they are.
Let's see it in action. Here's our messy list of heights, but now it's all neat and sorted into a table. Now pay attention to the notation in that first column. See that interval that says 50, 55? The square bracket next to the 50 means we include 50 in this group, but the parenthesis next to the 55 means we go right up to 55, but we don't actually include it. It's a really clever rule that makes sure no student gets counted twice. And on the right, that's the frequency. It's just a simple head count for each group.
And boom! Just like that, a pattern emerges from all that chaos. We can now see, clear as day, that the most common height ranges are between 50 and 60 inches, with 5 students in each of those groups. That's a huge insight that was totally invisible in that original list of numbers. So the table is a massive step up, but our brains are just wired for visuals, What if we could take this organized information and turn it into a picture that our mind can understand in like a split second?
And that brings us to the star of today's show, the histogram. A histogram is basically a graph that brings our frequency table to life. Its whole reason for being is to show us the distribution of our data, the overall shape and pattern, all in a single glance.
And this illustrates that transformation perfectly. The intervals from our table, the height ranges, they become the horizontal axis at the bottom. And the frequency, the number of students in each group, that determines how tall each bar is. Our table of numbers is no longer just a table, it's become a visual story.
Now, to tell that story right, a histogram has to follow a few simple but really important rules. First, it's only for quantitative data, stuff you can measure with numbers. Second, the bars have to touch each other, which shows us we're looking at a continuous scale. Third, all the bins have to be the same width. And last, the vertical axis is always the frequency, or the count.
Let's look at another really powerful example. This histogram shows public health data on deaths from pneumonia, all grouped by age. You don't even need to see the table to get the story here. The pattern is just stark and immediate. As the age goes up along the bottom, the frequency of deaths, shown by the height of the bars, just steadily rises.
All right, now that we've got the basics down, let's put these tools into action and use them to analyze a real-world scenario.
Okay, so here we have a frequency table that shows the salary distribution for a company with 440 employees. The income is in thousands of dollars. We can see right away that 160 workers earn between $10,000 and $20,000.
So looking at this table, I have a quick question for you. How many employees at this company earn between $20,000 and $60,000? Go ahead and take a second, see if you can figure it out from the table.
Did you get it? The answer is 270. To find it, we just have to add up the frequencies for those intervals, the 110 people in the 20-30 group, plus the 80, the 50, and the 30 from the next 3 groups. Add them all up, and you get 270.
Okay, now let's visualize it. And this is where the histogram truly shines. We don't just see bars, we see the shape of the data. This is a classic example of what's called a right-skewed distribution. See how most of the data is piled up on the left with this long tail stretching out to the right? That shape instantly tells us most employees are in the lower salary ranges with just a few high earners pulling that tail out. And look, that gap between 60 and 70,000 is super obvious now. That's a complex payroll story told in one clear picture.
Okay, let's tackle one final, very important point. This is a super common mix-up, and if you get this right, your understanding of data is going to be rock solid. So the crucial thing is the difference between a histogram and a bar graph. They look similar, I know, but they're used for totally different things. A histogram is for quantitative, measurable data on a continuous scale. That's why the bars touch. A bar graph, on the other hand, is for categorical data, separate, distinct labels, like types of pets. And because the categories are separate, the bars have gaps between them.
This comparison makes it absolutely clear. On the left, the bar graph has distinct categories on the bottom. On the right, the histogram has a continuous number line. That's the key difference right there. Numbers versus labels, touching bars versus gaps.
So let's bring it all home. We started with a chaotic jumble of numbers. By organizing them and then visualizing them, we uncovered a story. And that is the true power of the histogram. It's a storytelling tool that reveals the shape and the patterns hidden inside our data.
Which leaves us with one last question. Now that you have this tool, and now that you know how to look for these patterns, what hidden stories are just waiting to be discovered in the data that's all around you?